Mr. Monk, thank you for this opportunity. You, as a member of the opposition party, has been very critical of the government. And this opportunity, we'd like to ask you, what is your opinion on the current financial and political situation of the island?
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. What I can say is what we have is a financial crisis and a political crisis. Look, a few months ago, the Central Bureau for Statistics of Curaçao, they informed that within 6 months, the unemployment increased with 6,000 people. We have in the last years there is nothing in comparison with that figures. 6,000 people unemployed within 6 months is a lot of people. Because we're talking about salary destruction. The salary is doesn't circulate more in the economy. Salary destruction of, let's say, $200 million per year. In the last 3 years, 4 years, we are talking about accumulated of a salary destruction of 600 million guilders, sorry. And that's a lot. And you see our GDP is we are talking about a contraction of our GDP of 2.2 percent points. Yes, we are talking about a financial crisis, deep financial crisis. And there is no project that can compensate the salary destruction that I mentioned. There is no project in sight of there is nothing that we can say, okay, there comes something that can compensate the salary destruction that I mentioned of accumulated 600 million guilders.
Not even the refinery?
No, not even the refinery. I think for 19.9%, I think that the refinery will shut down on December 31. Why? Look, the government has started negotiations with Clash. Clash is a company, Germany company, and Clash. I have here the figures of 2017, year 2017 of Clash. These figures, they place offer memorandum and Security Exchange Commission New York, asking for 250 million euros for dividend payment in something like that. But what's interesting is that Clash, if we make a comparison of Clash with Shell, ExxonMobil, PDVSA, in the good times of PDVSA, British Petroleum, we can say that Clash is tiny,
small company.
It's small, it's very small company. Clash doesn't have sufficient financial capacity to make investments of above the $1 billion. Why? Look, I can show you here. Clash have a total assets in September 30, 2017. Total assets of 751 million euros. Okay. That means that they have no collaterals, not even collateral capacity to make an investment above the $1 billion. And the refinery, our refinery needs about as per on report of ACR make a report a few years ago that we need more than $3 billion to modernize our refinery. And Clash doesn't have that capacity. Not even $1 billion, not even $500 million. And that means that per December 31, the refinery will close. There is no other arguments. You can tell me a lot of things. The government can tell us a lot of things. They are negotiating, etc. But there is no financial capacity. Clash doesn't have financial capacity to make the necessary investments to modernize our refinery. Point. Punto.
And you don't think that, for example, tourism can take over?
What we are experiencing on Curaçao on economical reform. It started 20 years ago with the destruction of our industry. It is a neoliberalism political agenda. It started 20 years ago, and the last economic pillar, that was our refinery, will close within 2 months. We are experiencing a shift, economical shifting from on economy of industrial economy with high salaries to an industrial to tourism economy and other economy with low salaries, with low income.
Okay.
That is the economical cycle on Curaçao. Dus we are closing a refinery. We are closing a refinery. We are closing. We are at that moment, just 2 years ago, we were on an industrial, petroleum industrial hub for the Caribbean. Now we're closing that refinery, and in place and to compensate that, we are going in tourism with low salaries, and we will start marijuana industry.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm talking about? Those economical shifts. It started 20 years ago. It's not started with 20 years ago with the Gabinete Poirier, who started a neoliberalism political agenda. And that neoliberalism political agenda shifted all our social structure, all our education structure on the island. And we are closing now that political agenda. And starting the next year, we are going to another economical structure in Curaçao.
So you don't see, not even if they close the refinery, that maybe they can reopen it, or you just see the end, completely end of it?
Yeah, this is a political agenda from the Netherlands in combination with the foreign political agenda of the USA. And that's what I can say, and that's what you see on the island now.
But why would like the government company Refinery de Curaçao Refinery, why would they choose a small company like that to come and operate such a big refinery?
It is a political stunt. It's a political stunt to a political stunt to gain time during these months up to December, to low all protests against the government. Do you understand?
But after that, when they close it, the protest will be...
Yeah, but at this moment, the refinery worker is thinking about his cesantia, payment of his cesantia. He's not thinking about the continuance of his refinery. Do you understand? This per January 1, what we will have is more than 1,000 employees unemployed. And what we will have is, I think, 3,000 or 4,000 people are going to the SVB to register their name there to get security, social security. As
an opposition party, what do you think should be done right now to get us out of that crisis, or even avoid something like that could happen by the end of this year?
Well, it is difficult because if you let me two things. Give me 50 specialized people, professionals. Give me a budget to go around the world to look business for this island, and I will give you the solution. Okay. You can expect from me solution of some solution from my laptop. Do you understand?
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you must have another political agenda, radical political agenda, another political thinking, another conception, economical conception. We are, what we are doing now is, we are now applicating the zero deficit concept. The zero deficit concept has no economical arguments. It doesn't exist in any part of the world. The zero deficit concept. It is a political agenda from the consensus of Washington. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Dus we are applicating models that doesn't exist in other part of the world. We have to change that thinking. We have to change that concept. We have to approach we have to approach our economical reality from the region, not from the Netherlands or from the USA. Do you understand?
Yes.
Dus I think maybe the next generation must do that, because that it is a culture. It is a cultural. It is in depth. It is an issue that we have to take to school, education, etc., etc. We have to change our mindset. Our way of thinking. We have to change that to have an integral approach of solution to the problem that we have in Curaçao.